Here's a look at a recap of your markets on this Monday, the 16th day of June. Before we get into the markets, we'll take a look at the crop progress and condition report ratings that were released just about an hour ago last week. 3.8 days suitable for field work in the state. Pasture conditions remain very good. Fair 11%, good at 80%, and 8% of the state's pastures rated in excellent condition. Corn condition currently rated at 20% fair, 66% good, and 9% excellent. Soybean planting currently at 86% complete. That compares with a 5-year average of about 85%, so right on track there. Soybean conditions currently rated at 23% fair, 66% good, and 6% excellent. Winter wheat condition, 26% fair, 57% good, and 12% excellent. Currently, about 13% of the state's wheat harvest is completed. That compares with the 5-year average of 22%. As far as haying goes, 44% of the first cutting of grass and other hays complete. That's just a little bit behind the 5-year average of 51%. First cutting of alfalfa now at 75% complete, just slightly behind the 5-year average of 80%, and 2% of the second cutting of alfalfa is now complete. Taking a look at what's going on at the auction barns around the state today, Joplin Regional Stockyards, they're going to end up with more than they expected. They've bumped that number up to about 9,000 head now compared to last week. Steers, 5 lower to 5 higher. Heifers, 5 lower to 7 higher. The steers, medium and large ones, 400 to 500 pounds, selling from 405 to 445. 5 to 6 weights at 372 to 405. 6 to 7 weights at 335 to 379. 7 to 8 weights at 310 to 350. 8 to 9 weights at 300 to 320 and a half. Some 900 to 950 pound steers at 286 to 298. Feeder heifers, the 4 to 5 weights, they're selling at 365 to 440. 5 to 6 weights at 327 to 385. 6 to 7 weight heifers at 310 to 360. 7 to 8 weights at 289 to 322. Some 8 to 850 pound heifers, 272 to 286. Box beef cutout values continue to climb higher. Choice put on another $4.23 today at $382.11. Select up $3.97 at $367.47. Those values based on 80 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $14.64. Negotiated feedlot trade last week, when all was said and done, 51,944 head of confirmed negotiated sales. The weighted average price on the live side, $240.57. That was up $3.94 from the previous week. That was mainly due to increases in the market in the South as they kind of closed up some of that gap between the South and Northern trade. Dress sales were slightly lower for the week, $379.89. That was down 14 cents from the previous week. Taking a look at the closing futures market on the Mercantile Exchange. A good day in the cattle and hog complexes today. Cattle tried to gain back some of those sharp losses from Friday. June live cattle up $1.92, 227.02. August 215.55 up 310. October at 212.90 up 297. Feeder cattle for August 310.22 up 380. September 309.57 up 397. October 307.37 up 402. Lean hogs, July 111.80 up 232. August at 112.67 up 255. October 96.17 up 197. Currently, the hog cutout value, although we don't talk about a lot, it is as high as it's been in 2 years. And the weighted average price last week for the barrels and gilts, it was as high as it's been in the last 3 years. So those hog markets not being left out currently either. Taking a look at your grain markets on Monday at the elevators around the state. Soybean bids were mixed from 4 lower to 6 higher. Wheat 7 to 12 lower. Corn down a dime. Corn bids in the St. Louis region, $4.57. Kansas City, $4.44. Soybean bids, St. Louis 1087, Kansas City 1050 to 1070. Wheat bids, St. Louis 536 to 543, Kansas City at 531. On the Board of Trade, July corn closed 9 3/4 cents lower, 434 3/4. September down 8 3/4 at 419 3/4. December at 435, down 8 cents. July soybeans were unchanged at 1069 3/4. August at 1071 3/4, up 2 3/4, and September 1053, up 6 1/4. Wheat contracts, July 536.5 down 7 1/4, September 552 1/4 down 7, December at 573 3/4 down 6 3/4. Soybean meal for July, $283.70 a ton, down $8.20. Soybean oil put on another $4.50 a hundredweight today, with July closing at 55.11. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets for Monday. This is Tony Hancock.